I quit. I am done. Oh my God, it just hit me. Wow, I didn't quit. I'm not quitting Pokemon. I just happened to take a voluntary layoff from my 9-to-5 job so I could fall in line and become another one of those people that thinks that they can make it by being a YouTuber, by being a Pokemon business, by running an entire operation out of my office. If you guys watched the first video on this channel, it's filmed in the very same office. It's just about 9 months later, and frankly, didn't know I was going to be here when I made that first video on this channel. I'm going to make this video the exact same way that I made that first one. I got no script. I got a few ideas that I want to talk about. But I'm going to talk specifically about why I'm in this position. Why I am taking on the idea of becoming Zorner Cards as a full-time job. How am I going to operate as a Pokemon reseller, a rip and shipper, a Pokemon business, a TCG business, an online presence, a YouTuber, a fake influencer? I am me, Mike, starting today. Just about 9 months after the very first video I ever made on this channel, undertaking entrepreneurship? I feel like all of it is so funny because I am just pulling up my bootstraps, but my bootstraps were made by the Pokemon Company International. Nintendo and Pokemon carefully crafted the bootstraps in which I am gonna grassroots movement my way. This is just, it's just fun. And I am taking it as seriously as I need to, but I am also understanding that this is, like, it feels silly. It feels silly that I fell into this at the beginning of this year, and today is my very first day as a business owner with no other job. Firstly, I want to say thank you. If you're watching the video, that's all it is. That's what it means. To me, it's a thank you to anyone who watches this video, to anyone who watches any of my live streams, to anyone who supports me in any way, whether it's buying from zornercards.com, if it's coming in and putting a like on one of the live streams, if it's commenting on this video. Any form of interaction with my brand, Zorner Cards, thank you. Because all of that has led to today, where I don't feel comfortable. I feel excited. I feel anxious. I feel like it's all not real. And next week on Monday, I'm going to go back to work. But that's not the case. If you guys have been watching any of the live streams, I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. And the reality is, there's a lot going on in my personal life that has impacted exactly why I think now is the right time for me to take the step towards becoming a full-time Pokemon business. Not a full-time rip and shipper, not a full-time YouTuber, not a flipper, not a vendor, not a scalper, a full-time Pokemon business. And I'll branch out into other stuff. If you guys know, we got MetaZoo on the channel. Secret Shadows coming out soon. We'll open some One Piece every once in a while, even though I have no idea what's going on. And I'm sure there's going to be other stuff down the road. But I really want to preface all of this with the specific statement of, I have no plans to only do one thing. I still struggle to call myself a rip and shipper, because if you go back and watch the first video I ever made on this channel, I don't even think I mentioned anything about live streaming at all. I haven't watched that video. I'm not going to watch it until the 1-year anniversary of that video, and I'm going to roast myself. But I'm shooting this the same way, off the cuff. There's a reason why I like doing live streams. I don't want the script. I don't want the pre-recorded content. I don't want to sound robotic, and I don't want to have to act. I just want to talk. And that's what we're talking about today. I just want to talk. I want to say thank you. I've said thank you. I'm going to keep saying thank you. But I've got some life events coming up that I have to take seriously. And the first one was this impending layoff that was coming from my company. I knew we were going to be downsizing. I knew that was going to be a lot of the non-essential people for the software that we put into robots. That's I was doing sales for a software robotics company. And they need the development team. They need the management. And I was in the sales management position for a couple of years now. I've been with the company for over half a decade. And I was having too much fun with this Pokemon stuff to not consider this to be a legitimate option for me going forward. That the flexibility, the individual ownership, the betting on myself, the believing in blah, blah, blah. So when it came time to have a conversation around if I could be taking a potential layoff where everything would end on good terms, and if I wanted to, I could come back in the future, but I'm streaming 40 hours a week. I'm still having a good time with it. All the other stuff that comes along with it, all the other Pokemon business stuff, the running a website, the fulfilling the orders, going to card shows and sourcing, working with different vendors, meeting new people, interacting with the hobby was too fun for me to consider not leaning into something that was also looking like it was going to be sustainable. And I don't know what it looks like outside of a bull market in Pokemon. The hype is real. I came in when Prismatic was the hottest set. Surging Sparks was right before that. It's been on a bull run for a while now. And I get a lot of questions. What happens if, there's a slowdown? What happens if people don't care anymore? We'll figure it out. Same thing would happen in any other sales job that I would have. What happens if people don't want what we have anymore? You got to figure it out. And so for me, I've been having too good of a time with it to pass up on an opportunity that I don't think I'll ever get again. And here's the other big reason why I'm doing this right now, today. My wife and I are expecting our first child. We're going to have our daughter in February. If everything goes well, I'm going to be a dad. And there's a certain responsibility that comes with that does not exist in your day-to-day life until it does. And a risk, like leaving a stable 9-to-5 job to start a Pokemon business from the office in our house, that's not a risk you could take your entire life. Not everybody, at least. And for me, I'm telling you guys, it's not a risk that I take lightly. But it felt like this was one of the last times that I was going to be able to take a chance on a career like this, on an opportunity like this, with a community and supporters like this, like what I have now. Because we're what some would consider small. People lil bro me about how many followers I have. And I still feel comfortable because I know that it's not just me, but it's every one of you that supports me that makes this whole thing work in the way that it does. Just as much as Pokemon makes it all easy and possible for all the Pokemon businesses out there. We're not coming up with the IP. So that's the main things. The IRL job slowdown made sense. let's take a pause on the 9-to-5 life, because a year from now, when I've got a 9-month-old, what does that look like? Could I just walk away from a job and put myself wholly into a brand new business venture? Put strain on my wife and our household funds by going and operating a business that needs to build inventory and capital and all the other things? A network, relationships, business credit. There's so many different things that I'm not gonna have the energy when I'm sleep deprived to lean in fully. It had to be now. It had to be now, and thankfully, it gets to be now, because it didn't have to be ever. I get to do this. There's a thing that used to get said at a company that I worked for in the past, and you guys have maybe heard this before. It's very like self-help book kind of talk, but it's success is rented, and the rent is due every day. It took me like an hour to turn this camera on and start this video, but you just gotta do it. Because if you don't have the luxury of just renting more success tomorrow. And I'm not letting the opportunity slip away from me right now. I am fully leaning in. And we're going to see if it works. I really hope it does. I really hope you guys are along for the ride with me. I hope we get to watch this video a year from now. Hey, or if I'm over here, hello. Because a year from now, I hope I'm still doing this. And I got asked a really good question today, actually, in the Discord. Mike, you're going to make a video talking about why now, why you're going full-time Pokemon. Are you going to talk about when you're going to stop going full-time Pokemon? When will your watch end? And that's a really good question. Even though it might seem like a weird question to ask someone who just started their full-time venture into a business. When are you going to be done? There is enough. At some point, I'm sure. Maybe I'll get burned out. Maybe I'll score some huge deal. I'll find a base set first edition Shadowless Charizard under my pillow from the Pokemon Fairy, and I'll be done. But it's not today. I don't think it's tomorrow. And I hope a year from now, it's not a year from now then. I hope I'm still having as much fun as I am right now. I got a knot in my stomach, man. I got butterflies. It's just cool. And I'll never be able to say thank you enough. People are watching this for the first time. They're like, this guy's annoying. Stop saying thank you and get to the point. There is no point. I'm just going to keep talking. We're like 12 minutes in. You guys got to get the vibe at this point. So if you do get the vibe, thank you. I appreciate you hanging around. Listen to me rant and ramble about how I'm doing this thing that is like wild and crazy by comparison to living the normal, assumed, what I thought I was going to be doing. I'm never going to stop saying thank you because it's only the support from you, the audience, you, the buyers, you, the viewers, you, the commenters. It's only the support from those who support me that are giving me this opportunity. And I don't want to let that go to waste. I'm not going to run some nameless, faceless business where nobody knows who I am and I just have to, hope that everything works out. I want to connect with everybody that I reasonably can. That can come in, hang out in the live streams, that comments on these videos, that's a part of our Discord, that's whatever it is, a vendor I meet at a show, another creator out there. This is, for me, what feels right. And I'm incredibly thankful that I get to do something that wasn't even on my mind a year ago. Wasn't even an opportunity. And now to be where we're at today, where this is going to be something where I'm going to be able to say, I can work from home and take care of my child and turn on a camera and hang out with a bunch of friends who support me in doing something that I have fun doing, and hopefully they have fun watching or getting sealed product and opening it up on their own, or watching some of my videos and finding some entertainment value or some infotainment value. It's just cool, man. It's just cool. We're about 15 minutes in at this point, and I know I could probably go for another 30 or 45 minutes, but I want to keep it nice and tight. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you guys, want to engage in a dialogue, come by the live streams that I do. I'd be happy to talk any of this out with you guys. Share what I've learned in the last year. I almost said my knowledge, but I don't think it qualifies in that regard. But share my experience. Use this channel to document, and let's just have fun, man. Like, I just feel lucky. I feel scared. I didn't realize it. Yesterday I was like, last day, let's go. Then I went to bed and I laid down and my brain was like, hey dude, you have to create the food tomorrow. So here we are. Creating the Arvin sandwich. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you being along for the ride. It'll be fun to watch this one back a year from now and see where we're at. I hope everyone has a great day. Please feel free to leave any comments you have down below. A like or a subscribe on the channel is huge. We're doing a giveaway at 1,000 subs. We're going to do a whole bunch of live stream giveaways as well when we hit 1,000 subs. So keep an eye out for that on the schedule. Thank you, guys. It's weird. It's weird, man. I had a conversation with McWizard. If you guys don't know the name McWizard, he edits videos for me. He hangs out in the live streams. He's one of my best friends in real life. And we talked about this. I don't want to butcher the name. Brendan Lee Mulligan. If you guys don't know Brendan Lee Mulligan, he's a great improv comedian, but he does like Dungeons and Dragons DMing, and you've probably seen him on Dropout. He does a lot of like the improv game shows, and there's a clip of him backstage before they go out and do Madison Square Garden, and they're doing like the behind the scenes footage of everyone standing around getting ready to go out, and he just has this moment where he's like, oh my god, it just hit me. And I'm realizing right now, as I'm trying to end this video, McWizard and I were just talking about that clip last weekend, and it's just hitting me right now. This is so cool. And it's because of you guys. I really mean that. I really do. Thank you. We'll see you around.